right, now this is tape 3, and we're going to get into some joint mobility exercises. But first, we'll do the energy drills, and these are going to blow you away. Just incredible. You'll see. Before, though, we do either of those two things. In my advertising for this course, I talked briefly about all the people, like in wrestling and karate, Taekwon-Do, et cetera, who are totally screwing up their bodies, and they need hip replacements, they need knee replacements, and all this. And there's some reasons for this that aren't being taught. There are things you can do with the energy exercises and joint mobility exercises to help preserve your joints. But as Doc and I were talking earlier, what is the number one reason a lot of these people have screwed up joints?
Usually it's dehydration of the joint,
Right.
Desiccation of the joint, not enough water, basically.
Right. So if a person is chronically dehydrated or not drinking enough water and doesn't even realize it, what happens to the joint?
Well, over time, the joint will dry out. It'll also lose flexibility, which we talked about earlier, is one of the hallmarks of aging. And so combining water intake with stretching is probably the key thing to keep your joints healthy.
Right. So again, if you weigh 200 pounds, a bare minimum of 100 ounces of water a day, preferably the oxidized water, which
Alkalized, ionized
right,
water, yeah.
which the two of us drink. Then the other thing in dealing with the joints is that when a person doesn't drink enough water and is a combat athlete, he's sweating more than the regular person. He's losing more minerals and electrolytes, et cetera, through perspiration than the average person.
Right.
It's even worse.
Yeah, the water intake should be much, much higher, as you
Right.
stated earlier.
Right. So the average person, we're talking 100 ounces minimum for a 200-pound person, but now we get into an athlete who's sweating off. I mean, when I was in college in wrestling, I mean, I would drop 10 to 12 pounds of water weight within a 24-hour period. I mean, I was dehydrated all the freaking time, all the time. And it's amazing I'm here today to talk about it. It's not good for you. A good sweat is okay, but to be dehydrating your body for 24 to 36 hours, really purging your body of all your excess fluids so you can make weight, that's rough on the system. But the other thing is that to just break a good sweat, that's no problem, so long as afterward you rehydrate.
Right. Dehydration is the key.
Right. So saunas, are they bad for you?
Probably not. Probably they can be helpful for you, but there are different types of saunas, as you
Right.
know. So it depends on what type of sauna.
Right. I agree.
Rehydrate when you're in the sauna. There's no rule that says you can't take
One
water.
thing I can say is that at the University of Iowa, in the sauna, huge sauna, I mean 20, 30 people could sit in there at once, there was a hose in there.
Mhm. Sure.
So we could drink
Sure.
while we were in there. But most of us didn't
We're cutting
when
weight.
we're cutting
Sure.
weight. When we weren't, we were drinking the whole time.
Right.
And also we use that hose to water the rocks and everything
Sure.
else so the
Get some
place
air.
gets some air.
Humidity,
So, but really, again, the key for the joint health is water. All right, now, no more on that. That pretty much gives an overflow on the subject. All right, so now I'm going to teach you these energy drills.
Okay.
Now, you can do these, again, any time in the day that you feel
Energy depleted.
you're getting tired. Do them right before you work out is great. If you have a workout in the afternoon or evening or whatever, do them first. And then also before competition. Because they not only move the energy, but they get you pumped up and excited. All right? And you being a medical doctor, you're shouldn't even be entertaining such a thought as this. Right?
Oh well.
Okay, but
Here I am. What can I say?
Yes. All right, and you be the judge. All right, so come on up here and stand. And the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do, face the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. First thing I want you to do is learn how to ground yourself. And this grounding exercise is also good for your lower back, the twisting, which you'll see. So what you're going to do is take a real wide horse stance and back is straight and come down and put your hands inside your knees like this, right? Now, and push your legs wider, as wide as you can. And while doing that, turn and look behind you as far as you can. You may hear some vertebrae loosen up there, and then turn and look the other direction. Twist your whole waist, everything as much as you can. Good. And pushing those legs out at the same time. Good. Do it again. So if ever you feel flighty, well, we'll get from him what he thinks. All right, good. Now just stand up. You notice anything?
Yeah. Actually, I'm fairly relaxed because of that exercise. Calm down.
It relaxed you,
Yeah.
right? Centered you.
Right.
So grounding, we're talking about centered, where your energy is not just scattered and running all over the friggin' place. All right. So that's the first one to do. The second exercise is it's going to be a march and pop. So you're going to go like this 20 times. Okay? 2, 3, look straight ahead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let your hands hang and then lift them. Lift them each time so they go boom, boom. Yeah, keep them down. Yeah, keep your hands down. Yeah, and then lift. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, good. That's the first one. Now we're gonna, that's just kind of getting the energy started. Now you're gonna cross your knee over and hit with the other hand, okay? And cross there, boom. 20 times, 2, 3, 4, that's it, 5, 6. Do this at home, 7, 8, follow along. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Notice anything?
Yeah. Charges you up.
Charges you up.
Yeah.
Now, the Chinese invented all this stuff. I didn't, all right? And I don't know how the hell they figured this out. I assume back in the old days, before we had TV and radio and movie and internet and computers and all that shit, that they could like look at a person and like, oh, there's the meridians and here are all the pressure points and this is flowing and that's flowing. They didn't even need x-rays. Okay, we were talking yesterday about how even in Ireland they found a frozen body. What did they call it? The bogman?
Bogman, yeah.
The bogman. And how old was this?
I think he was somewhere from around 200 AD, somewhere between 200 BC, 200 AD.
Okay.
Old. Very old.
Yeah, a couple thousand years old. And this is, we're talking Ireland, okay? We're not even talking China, okay? But again, prior to the internet and all that shit, okay? But this bogman had all the acupuncture points and meridians all outlined on his body. So there's something to it, and he's coming to learn that as well. You know, eventually he's going to be an MD with an acupuncture degree and really teaching health and healing.
Right.
Not that you don't get any by going to an MD, not saying that. I mean, if I break my arm or get cut, that's who I go see. But if in the old days in China, when you were healthy, you paid your doctor every month. If you got sick, you stopped payment. That's the kind of national health care system we
We'd all be
need.
bankrupt. Yeah, right.
Okay, so you notice that. So this one, I mean, you start doing this before you go to practice or before a match, and you're ready to kick ass immediately. And it takes just a couple minutes. Right. Okay, so now the next thing is to just go up here like this. Inhale deep. all the way in, and then now you're going to exhale, and your arms are going to cross and come down like this way in front. All right. So let's do that 10 times. Inhale up and cross over. Doing this at home as well. 2. Good. Inhale. That's it. Cross. Good. When you come up on the inhale, palm up. Okay? Inhale. 4. That's the way. 5. 6. Good. 7. Feel the energy. 8. 7.
That's impressive.
Feel?
Yeah, right away.
Okay.
Right away.
And
Yeah.
that's what's happening is you're, in a nutshell, I'm not a Chinese medicine herbalist or acupuncture or anything, but based on my understanding, the way it was explained to me, I got a place in China, you're just reconnecting all the meridians and you're getting all the energy flowing the way it's supposed to flow. Most people's energy is flowing anyway other than it's supposed to be flowing. That's why they walk around like this all the time, feeling like shit. Okay, now lie on. Now here's the one for your hips. If you have hip and knee problems, or if you're lacking flexibility in that area, this is what's going to help you. So lie on the floor, on your stomach, okay, and prop your head up under your chin. So like this, like a little kid watching TV. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cross your legs. You've seen this probably, right?
I don't think I have seen this.
No? How people do this when they watch TV? That's what
Oh,
I'm talking about.
sure.
Okay? Let's do 50 of those. Okay? Don't come all the way down. Stay up. Yeah, 1. Don't come all the way down. Just stay up. Now cross the other way. That's it. 3, 4, 5, 6. There are people who have knee pain and hip pain. They start doing this and it goes away. Why? I don't know. Okay? I'm just giving you the goods here. That's it. How many you got?
17.
Okay, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, good, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Come up a little further toward your butt. Yeah, 34, 5. And now don't touch and stop each time. Yeah, there you go. Now you're smooth. See, now that's where you can pop 100 of these off. Good, like that. The same energy drill basically that Dr. Dave was doing on the ground here, crossing and uncrossing his legs. You can do that sitting in a like a bar stool, not necessarily at a bar, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about. A chair that sits up, or even on this couch if I lean back a little bit and you just go like this 100 times. And that'll help keep your knees and your hips pain-free, as well as keep them mobile, and all the energy is connected to the upper and lower body and the different meridians. So on the ground or right here. Here's another exercise you can do that has the same crossing type of pattern that you got with the arms going overhead, and it starts like this. Just cross the legs behind, like that. Very good for the hips. Also, it's very good in general for balance in that. Now, to really make it more of a deeper or a dynamic stretch, you go all the way down and touch the knee right by the other foot. And this one will make your ass right in this area ache for about 3 or 4 days. So don't do too many until you've given your body a little preparation. Let's go into some of the joint loosening exercises, and let's start with one for your wrists and elbows that confounds many of people. Left hand up, turn it over. Right hand up, cross over, turn it palm down, interlock your fingers. Now all you're going to do is bring your hands in and bring them out. You hear a little cracking there? That's good. And then out, in and through, back in and out. Then undo your hands and cross them over the other way. And then you got this way. A little cracking again. All the way out. If you can't extend them all the way, no problem. Don't worry. Just do the best you can. Once that's finished, then interlock your fingers this way and then pop the rest of those knuckles. Crack them. You know how they tell you, when I went to school, the nuns, they used to give me detention for cracking my knuckles and tried to scare me by saying it'll make them big and grotesque and ugly. Screw those nuns. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Okay, now the next thing we're going to work on is your ankles. Do the wrists and elbows. Now let's do the ankles. And instead of rolling it, you can roll them out on the floor like this. Put the toe down and roll it out even from the hip. Feel it rolling out like that. And really loosen it up. Really practice just letting go from the hip all the way down. Now go the other direction, counterclockwise. 6, 8, 9, 10. Then we do the other foot. 1. Remember, let it roll out from the hip. And then go the other direction. Real important to keep those ankles loose. The same type of exercise can be done and become a balancing type exercise, and you stand like so and just move it this way. I imagine that my big toe is like a paintbrush and I'm painting a circle with my big toe in the other direction. If you need to hold something for balance, do so, but it's not that hard. You just have to concentrate. Okay, then we go to the other foot, same exercise. And reverse. Good. Okay, now you can feel one is different than the other, so they're both very good to do. Now for the knees, we can do the knees together, like so, and then move them this way in a circle. And don't snap them. Keep them bent. Don't lock them out this way. Keep them bent and move them in a nice rotation like that. All right, when that's finished, now we'll do one at a time. So same type of thing. Now lift your leg in the air. Now instead of your toe painting a circle, imagine your whole foot is covered with paint and painting a circle. And that's how you loosen up the knee and make it flexible. Then the other direction. Switch feet. And then the other direction. Okay, now we go to the hips and loosening them up. And a way to do that is just to bring them in a circle to the outside and back in. You can touch your hand as you come through if you like. but it's not necessary. Okay, then you go the other direction. You can touch each time to maintain your balance, or you can try to be really limber and loose and keep it moving the whole time. Now we go in the other leg. And then this way. So that hits ankles, knees, hips, wrists, elbows. Now let's roll out the neck. We're gonna let the ear go toward the shoulder, then let the chin drop down. Ear goes toward the other shoulder, go back, and this way. Now, some of you who are weak in the neck, you may want to just go straight across rather than back like this. It's up to you based on what your neck can do now without pain and how mobile you are. So we'll do 5 each way. 2. Just at a moderate pace. 3, 4, 5. Then switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of you may hear a little crickling and crackling in your neck as you move around. No problem. Just clean your body out with the ionized water and more fresh fruit and vegetables, and do these exercises, and eventually that'll go away. Now, let's loosen up the whole trunk area and put your arms overhead like you're holding a big beach ball, and now you're going to rotate this way. And as you drop, let yourself swing to the other side and come through. Now the other direction. So you got to be able to move like a snake in all directions. How are we going to do that? You got to be able to do it with your legs, arms, neck, hips, shoulders, everything. So now let's hit the shoulders. And first, let's start with the easiest one. Just bringing your traps up, shoulders up and back. Rotate them like this. Now let's switch directions and go up and forward. Now let's get a little more advanced and do one arm at a time. So you learn body awareness. Keep your joints mobile. Keep the fluids. No pain. We want lots of mobility and the youthfulness. 4, 5, then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also hold one arm out like this. Put your hand here. Shoulder strike. If your shoulder is stiff and tight from too much weightlifting, you can't even move it. Okay, so you got to be loose. On the other side. Another great shoulder exercise. Start swimming forward with the right arm, and you're going to have your bicep touch your ear without you moving your head over to touch it. That's the first thing you start doing. As that's going, you're going to have your left arm swim backwards, and your waist turns along with it. So, okay, then we go the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, another exercise for the shoulders is to just, you bring one up and the other one back as far as you can. So this one's going back as far as you can. After it comes up, this one like that. So this one, when you do it and you get to the furthest reach of the movement, hold for a count and kind of flex so you get some muscular stimulation in there as well. So it's like this. Okay, now I'm going to give you a couple of exercises that I teach all my carpal tunnel students, and these two alone will not only increase energy and mobility to your wrists and fingers, but to the entire lower arm, but they'll also make you stronger. The first one is like a tiger claw type thing. You're going to bring your elbows back and hands back as far as you can while opening your fingers as wide as you can. So it's this way, and then you go forward and squeeze like you're clawing a chunk of meat. As you do so, your elbows are in like this. And back, inhale deep, and forward. Notice when I come back, I throw my traps. And really squeeze when you come forward. Like you're really grabbing something and pulling. All right, so that one alone, along with this one, these two have helped many of my students eliminate their carpal tunnel, but there's a lot more exercises so that you really make sure it's gone for good. But this next one, your arms are forward like this, and you're going to flex your wrist back this way to strengthen your wrist. And as you do, you want to feel the tendon of the elbow right here, where people get tendonitis of the elbow, and pull that as well. You want to feel that being worked as you do this. So here we go. You inhale and pull back, and then forward. Inhale. 2. We'll do 10 of these. Two more. 10. All right. Last two exercises, hip rotations, pelvic rotations. Keep those hips limber and loose. So hands on the hips, and we're going to rotate like this. Nothing is too extreme, just a moderate circle, not trying to go as far as you can out. And then switch directions. 5, 3 more. Good. All right, this one's important to show because some people I've showed the hip rotation right in front of them and they did this. Some of my old female clients, all right? Maybe they're coming on to me. I don't know. I doubt it. But anyway, here we go. And now from the inside rather than out, it's this part is then moving in a circle, coming up and going through. Very important area to keep the blood flowing for a lot of reasons. And then let's go the other direction. And if you grab your crotch while you do this and sing on stage, you can make millions and millions of dollars. Okay, just ask Michael Jackson, and he started it, now everybody does it. And they're all getting rich because when you move this, people's eyes go right to that center.